a world where glamour is out and reality is in, two remnants of the glitter age not only hang on, but thrive. Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. A little over a week ago, these two survivors talked with their friend Charles Collingwood about their careers, their children, their off-screen shenanigans, and her million-dollar diamond. They sat on the patio of Miss Taylor's mother's house on a hilltop in Bel Air, California, one of those lush communities that make up Hollywood's backyard.
This weekend is the 6th wedding anniversary of you two. At the time, there were a great many people who...
What do you mean, legal?
Yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Listen, well, if you are so devoted to each other, as I think you are, what about all these rows? You can't pick up a movie magazine or anything about Liz and Dick battling?
No, I must say we enjoy fighting. I think that fighting with somebody you love, and are really sure of, and if you're really sure of yourself in your love, I think having a fight, an out-and-out, outrageous, ridiculous fight, is one of the greatest exercises in marital togetherness. I think
especially if you have no really weak points.
Oh, I see.
You see, you do not attack the weak points. They're perfectly obvious in Elizabeth and myself. So when I insult Elizabeth, which I frequently do, I do not attack that soft spot in the underbelly. And when she attacks me, double chins.
You bloody well have.
Yeah, she's got a slightly fat belly. I never
Well, I've
use
got
those
his
things.
pock marks, you know.
Well, we
But
can attack
the
those
ethics.
things, but they're superficial.
No, the ethics and
You're more vulnerable, I'm sure, on other things than that.
Well, yes, I am, yeah. We've always had, of course, the enormous problem, Elizabeth and myself, of my being essentially a stage actor, and Elizabeth the film actress. And so we frequently have lovely quarrels about that, where Elizabeth describes stage actors as being full of rubbish, and I reply
just
that...
more pontifical.
Has Richard, in the years you've been together, Elizabeth, taught you anything about reading lines?
Well, not lines, but certainly poetry. The thing he taught me was forget the metronome, forget what you were taught in school. Just think of the meaning of the poem.
Is that the way you do a script? A film script? A prose script?
Well, I've only, all the scripts I've done have been prose.
Yeah.
I've only done one in verse, and that was Turning of the Shrew. And I was absolutely terrified, because I was in this company of old Shakespearean actors, not necessarily old, but, you know, they've been there for a long time. And these camp characters, you know, that you just can't turn your back on because they're, you know, picking their nose, scratching their bottoms. I mean, they'll do anything. And here was I, you know, sort of a Hollywood schmuck trying to sort of keep up with them. And I said, Richard, what am I going to do?
The old man give you any help?
Yeah. He said, get out of the nest, baby. You do it on your own. And I said, thanks a bloody bunch.
He's a professional Welshman. Does that get on your nerves sometimes?
Well, I'm a professional Jew, so, you know, it's a good contest.
Now, I once remember telling...
I mean, after all, we do have Jesus Christ, don't we? And he doesn't. He claimed it. But he hasn't convinced me yet.
Jesus Christ was unquestionably Welsh.
No!
You two are parents, and very devoted ones, as far as I watched you with your children. What do you think about the problem of this modern world and all the changes that it's bringing to children? Something wrong with the younger generation, Elizabeth?
Oh, Godler, I don't know. But I think my kids are on a right track. My oldest son, 17, has the hair that is infradate to the oldsters. clothes that are poor, squares. He's been hippie hunted down. He's not, well, I don't know what the word hippie means. I really don't understand that word. He has long hair. I like hair. He looks beautiful.
What do you mean, people insult him, or?
Oh, they insult him. They say, "Hey, girly," and tug on a scarf or something.
Not at all girly.
Oh boy,
one
doesn't have to worry about that.
As a matter of fact, he might exceed my particular capacity in that sense.
I am so fortunate that he is not one of these kids that goes out and mugs people. I'm so lucky that he doesn't find it necessary to get vicarious kicks out of beating old ladies up or doing things like, they have been here lately.
So you think the kids are getting a bum rap?
I do. I really do. Just because they have long hair and they wear the same kind of clothes that we pay a hell of a lot of money for from Vogue and Bazaar, I think these kids are getting a bum rap.
Well, obviously, I've talked to him because he's, in a sense, my son now, because he's been with me for 10, 12 years, and he's only 17 now. And I say, why, if you wear such outrageous clothes and your hair chopped to a certain length, which is going to accord you embarrassment. Like, for instance, just coming to see his mother and myself at the, shall we say, the Dorchester Hotel, and they won't let him in,
until they find out who he is.
Until they find out that
really
he's our son.
That makes me so angry.
But his answer...
Because he is our son, they'll let him in.
But,
if he were Mrs. Jones's son, they wouldn't let him in. It's like, it's like the kind of thing in New York that happened to me a few years ago. I wanted to buy a co-op apartment, and as you know, I'm a convert to Judaism.
God help us.
And well, there's nothing worse than a convert.
But they wouldn't let you.
Nothing worse than a
couldn't get an apartment in New York.
No, but they said, we'll make an exception for you because you're Elizabeth Taylor. We'll let you in. And I said, you can take your building and you know where to put it.
Well, what do you tell them about things like pot, which all these kids experiment with?
How can I say to my son, or my children, you can't go out and smoke pot? I have said it, by the way. When we go out and have martinis, and we know that that is killing our livers, and when we are smoking cigarettes, and we know that we might die of cancer, and you're the adult, you're the grown-up, you're supposed to know. So when you ask that question, what do you say?
Elizabeth, you aren't advocating pot for young people, are you?
No, I'm not. Oh, my God, no, I'm not. I'm not advocating cigarettes. I'm not advocating booze. The one thing that really does terrify me for young people is LSD, the hard drugs. And that really scares me because I've known children of friends of mine that have taken LSD and they've blown their minds. So I oppose that so totally and thoroughly. And I'm not advocating pot.
But in a sense, both of you identify with young people. Those symbols you're wearing around your neck, isn't that a peace or a love symbol?
It seems to work because we haven't quarreled for at least 48 hours.
Stick around.
You give each other a lot of presents. You're always giving Elizabeth presents like that bit of ice cube you have on your finger there, dear?
What's to keep me cool?
That's a beauty. That's the big one, isn't it?
It's not small, is it?
No,